Yeah, it's Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
That mean you're gonna do accommodation?
All right,
Yeah, Tyler.
looks good. All right, everyone, engage. Call this meeting to order, the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners for Wednesday, January 18th. Good morning, everyone. I, as your vice chair and chair today, Katie Jacobson is out of the office. Claire Hall is here, and that means that we have a quorum. So first thing, let's call this meeting to order. We did this, establish a quorum, no recognitions or proclamations. Item 4, adoption of the consent calendar. These are items that have been previously discussed. We call them routine. Claire, is there anything you want to highlight out of the consent calendar today, or staff?
Not from me, Mr. Chair. I would make a motion for approval of or adoption of the consent calendar as presented.
Okay, I'll second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving down to discussion and information. Roy Kenyon joins us today. He's our Public Works Director. And good morning, Roy. Good to see you.
Roy Kenyon, Lincoln County Public Works Director.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Roy.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What you have in front of you, hopefully, is an agreement between the U.S. Forest Service and Lincoln County. It's what we call our Schedule A agreement. It is renewed every 5 years, and this is the 5th year. What it represents is an agreement between the two agencies for road maintenance. And what it does is it allows Lincoln County Road Department to maintain certain Forest Service roads that it makes sense for us to maintain. And it also allows the Forest Service to maintain certain county road right-of-ways that it makes sense for them to maintain. And it's an agreement that's been in effect. I can't actually tell you exactly when it first started, but I know that it's actually been in effect for over 30 years.
Oh, wow.
It started back in the day when Forest Service was doing heavy logging activity, and they were utilizing certain county roads to haul their logs on, and they agreed to maintain those to take that burden away from the county. In return, we agreed to maintain certain roads that were, well, basically more or less used by county road traffic. Let's put it that way. And so it's continued on. On occasion, there are edits to it as things change. This year, there are no edits to the last agreement. It is exactly as it was 5 years ago. And so I'm asking for board signatures on that so we can process that agreement and continue on like we have been.
Okay, Roy, would this be something we should bring back in your mind? And also, Kristen, it's just back next week to decision action, or go ahead and put it on consent?
You could make a decision tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay. Claire, your thoughts?
Mr. Chair, given the fact that this is renewal of a longstanding existing agreement, and there are no changes from the prior iteration of the agreement, I would be more than comfortable with approving this today.
Okay. Yeah, I feel good about that as well. Would you like to make a motion then?
Okay, I will move that we approve the Cooperative Forest Road Agreement between the County of Lincoln and the USDA Forest Service, Siuslaw National Forest.
Excellent. I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, Roy.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate
Mr.
it.
Kenyon.
Okay, Commissioner reports. Claire.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The thing I want to share is most importantly is the governor's announcement last week of a declaration of a homeless state of emergency in Oregon. But unfortunately, this only takes in metro counties, mostly in the valley, and then also Deschutes County. but it excludes the coast and rural counties in central and eastern Oregon. The three of us signed off on a letter to the governor asking her to reconsider this policy decision on Friday. The Coastal Caucus, which includes all elected legislators from the coast, including our own David Gomberg and Dick Anderson, signed off on a similar letter. And, you know, I understand the League of Cities has some kind of a joint letter or resolution in the works as well. You know, it's a somewhat complicated story, but I think we can zero into the fact that it's incomplete, that the decision was based on incomplete and to some degree inaccurate data. You know, why this so concerns and really disappoints me is that I really felt like the incoming governor and her team had an understanding that we were dealing with something. It's not just a Portland problem. It's not a Valley problem. It's a statewide problem. So just last night, I learned that there is going to be some kind of process for counties to apply to be added to the proclamation. I don't have any details on what the timeline for this is, what the application process will be yet. We've reached out to the governor's office already this morning, haven't heard back yet. But what I would like to do is propose a motion that we authorize either the vice chair or chair to sign off on any such application once we have it developed.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. And are we aware of, I mean, were we the only county that sort of suffered this miss or?
Oh, no, I mean, Tillamook, Clatsop, Coos, Curry, basically, you know, and just about all, you know, 25 of the 36 counties total are excluded.
Okay. Well, I think you're right. And it's probably just a matter of time before it sinks in, I would imagine. So sounds like a good idea. Do you want to make a motion to that
Yes.
end?
I move that the board authorize the chair or vice chair to make application for inclusion in the emergency state declaration on homelessness.
Very good. I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Aye.
thank you.
Okay, anything else to report, Commissioner Hall?
Not today.
Okay. No, I do not have much to report. I will be participating in the Sheriff Citizen Academy starting next week. Looking forward to that. I thought maybe this would be something, even though I haven't attended the academy, that might be good for us to do, given, you know, all the time in the world, but looking forward to see what I don't know about the sheriff's office, and folks should realize that it's open to the public. So for future reference, if you're interested in learning about the sheriff's office, you can find information on the website about the Citizens Academy. Okay, let's jump into public comment. And we did not receive any written comment this week. And if anybody doesn't understand the process by which you can reach out to the board, we do prefer that you use our email boc@co.lincoln.or.us. That does help us manage public input, but there's no written input today. There's a form online that folks can use. Just look in the commissioners section of the website. You can find that. And looking at this room, it doesn't seem to me like there's any physical bodies here to give us public input. So I guess what we would do is look to our participants on this meeting. And if anybody who's with us today wants to provide comment, please use the raise hand function. It does look primarily like we just have staff with us today.
How about attendees?
Or attendees, yeah.
Mhm.
So seeing none, we will move forward here. Before adjournment, please be aware that our next meeting is January 23rd for staff. And then next week on the 25th, we will be back at our regular meeting, 10 a.m. on Wednesday. And next week we'll be talking STRs, right? Yeah, okay. So I imagine the room will get a little bit more fuller next
Mhm.
week. Thanks for joining us today. And unless you have anything else, Claire, or?
No,
Tim
Mr.
or
Chair.
Kristen? All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, and we are adjourned.
You do the motions, say, so. Second.